I don't know if it's working or not. Can you join? All right, I think it's working. Hey, everybody, how's it going? So we needed to do some shopping for our garden, and we thought we would live stream the process of us going through and shopping for seeds for our garden. So uh, that's really we don't have much more of a plan other than that. We're just going to roll with that idea. So we need to buy tomatoes and peppers and some other stuff for our garden. So let's start with kind of inventory of what we have, and then I'm going to talk through kind of at a high level where we are with our garden planning and what we're doing. Before I get too much farther, though, I want to mention we have a contest that we just started today. If you go to our website or if you look at our Facebook page, you'll see where you can enter via a variety of ways, but you're going to be entered to win a $25 Burpee gift card that I'm holding here, a couple of smart pots, and a seeding square. So I need to have one of those on hand. But anyway, thank you to Smart Pots, to Burpee, and to Seeding Square for giving us those to give out. We're really excited about this contest. We're going to be holding these all throughout the spring, so be looking out for those. But so let's jump back in and go through the process of planning out our garden. And Carrie's going to be monitoring the chat. If you have any questions as we're going through this, just ask them. This is super informal. Again, we have no plan. We're just going to go through and plan out our garden. And we thought we'd invite you to join us on the process. So let's talk through where we are in our garden right now. We have broccoli and cabbage and cauliflower right over there in our living room under some grow lights. We've been posting about that on our Facebook page. We've got some pictures up, and we have a video that's going to be coming out soon showing that. But those are going to be going outdoors here in the next couple weeks. So it's at the point where that grow light's going to be empty. We have some grow lights up in the front of our house where I have some thyme and some rosemary and some oregano that we transplanted at the end of the fall to get some clones of the plants that we had, so we had extra versions of those plants. So anyway, those are going to be planted outside soon. So we're going to have a bunch of space in our grow room and over here to start seeds. So we're going to start seeds for peppers and tomatoes indoors. And the reason why we start those indoors is because if we wait to start them outdoors at the time in which it's warm enough for them, it's going to take too long for them to produce fruit. We're not going to get fruit until basically fall because it's going to be too hot during the summer. So in order to make it to where we get peppers and tomatoes before it gets too hot for them to produce, we start them indoors. And it's still a little early to start them. Really, Valentine's Day is when we tend to start them. When you start them this early, they can get too big for indoors, and they're hard to manage in an indoor space. So, but if you have the room for them, now's the time to go ahead and get started with them. But we're going to go ahead and buy seeds for them now, with the idea that we're going to start them here over the next coming weeks. And this is going to be for peppers and for tomatoes. Also eggplant, we would start indoors in the same way. So we already have some seeds that we ordered a while back. We've got some eggplant. I ordered this one. Why did I order this one? I don't remember. A lot of these I just kind of randomly pick things that look interesting to me. But I did have a method to the madness on some of these other ones. So this hot pepper, this big guy hybrid, I got this one because it produces a really big pepper. And I thought it'd be nice to have for produce. What are those called that we make, like the poppers? Where you where you hollow out that jalapeno, put it in the sausages and cheese and all that. Let me show you how. So let's go look at peppers here. So we're gonna use our app here and go through and let's look at hot peppers. And let's look at seeds for hot peppers because we need to get some other types. So this varieties tab pulls in all 1,500 varieties from Burpee that they have for their plants. So these are all hot peppers. Let's look at what type we're going to want because there's a lot to look at. So to help filter the list down, let's look at this category. So we already have a jalapeno. That was a big one. What other kind do we want, Carrie? What do we want? Well, we want to have some Thai peppers for sure. We don't have any of those. So let's filter down to that and look at these. It's so hard to pick. I'm glad we have the filter though, because I used to feel so overwhelmed when I was looking at lists and it was just hundreds of peppers and I had no idea where to start. But this gives me a place to to start from. Give my OCD a place to start from. So let's look at these and see. So these Thai peppers, we're gonna want these in stir fries mostly. Let's go with this one here. So when we click on it, it takes us over to Burpee, and here you can go through and buy the seeds. And I want to mention that we have an exclusive discount code that you can use through our app. So the code is going to change month to month, but if you go up here, you can see the code currently is STS 2019. If you tap on this button right here, it'll copy that code to your clipboard, and then when you go to Burpee, you can use it. So all right, so I'm not going to go through and buy them all now, but I am going to add them to my cart. So let me go back. We're going to do this one, and I'm going to add it into my cart. Okay, and then we're going to close off that and go back into the app. Okay, so we've got, for peppers, we've got the big guy hybrid, the big pepper we talked about. We've got the Thai hot. We've got a sweet pepper, a carnival blend. So this is a lot of different colors. Yeah, it's nice to have that because we get a lot of different, they all have the same flavor, but it just adds some different color. And I have a weird thing where I don't like to eat salsa that has the same color of vegetables. So like if it has tomato in it, it can't have a red bell pepper because I need to know what's the tomato and what's the pepper. So it's nice to have all those different colors on hand to satisfy my OCD issues on the salsa front. We've got sweet peppers, the Slovenia hybrid. I don't know where this one came from. I think this may have been a random one they sent me to try out. So,
well, I want all the sweet peppers.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try them all.
Have we grown sweet peppers before?
We've grown bell peppers.
The Jimmy Nardello. I mean, those are technically sweet peppers, I guess. Okay. So I think that pretty well covers peppers. As far as how to grow peppers, let me just kind of briefly touch on that. Again, you start indoors right about now on peppers. They take a little bit longer to get going than tomatoes, so it's safe to go ahead and start them now. They're not going to get too big on you. They do like to be in a warmer area to germinate. So you could either use, like a warming mat that goes underneath of them, which we have links to in the app now. So if you click on this button up here, this cart, you can come over to here and then click on Shop All Burpee Products, and we have all sorts of different products in here. If we go to heat mats, this will show you this heat map they have here from Burpee. You can put that underneath the tray of seeds. And two, I want to talk about seed starting in general and how you can do that and what kind of equipment you use for that. We use this seed starting kit that we got through Burpee. It is in the seed starting section, and no, it's not. I'm gonna go to Grow Lights. It's in there. So we just got this last week, and it has been awesome. So one thing I really like about it is it's super simple to put together. One thing in particular, the peat, it's this one here, this tabletop glow and grow light. And we got the one that came with the 72 cell seed starting little tray basically. And it has these little peat pellets that you put into each little cell. And then when you add water, they expand. And I've used these before in some other setups, and the ones that had the little mesh around the peat were kind of a pain. They never really expanded right, and they just seemed like they dried out in a hurry. And I was not a fan of any of those self-expanding things. That was my viewpoint on those coming into this. And then when I tried these, they're different. I've never tried ones like these ones that came from Burpee, and it was a much better experience. So plus the tray on the seed starting station lasts for up to 10 days, so it's been super convenient just to fill it, and we haven't had to do anything else other than that first day. So basically that's what we're doing for the grow station over here. And then we do have a grow station in our office that we built that was kind of a DIY type thing that we built from like things that we got off of Craigslist and all that kind of stuff. And we have a video on our YouTube channel that shows how to make that. Carrie, can you post a link to that in the link in the chat or whatever? Yeah, for this, if you don't mind, thank you. So Carrie's going to post a link to that if you want to see more about how you can do seed starting on the cheap. But okay, so let's go back and go back to where we were, and we were in peppers. So there's really nothing else we need to mention about peppers. They're really easy to grow, one of the easiest things to grow, and the app will guide you through all the information you need to know about how to grow it. So all that is right here in the app. So let's jump back into the list of plants again, and let's talk through some other things that we need to get seeds for. So let's go into tomatoes and look at that. We have some tomato seeds. So I've got two here. I've got the bush steak hybrid, and I've got the honeycomb hybrid. So let's take a look at these and see what these are. The honeycomb one was sent to me from Burpee. It's a new one that they have that they wanted me to try. I have not tried that one at all. The bush steak hybrid was definitely bought with some purpose. So let's go look at these. All right, so for tomatoes, let me back up a second here. So we got two different types of tomatoes in the app. We have bush tomatoes and we have vine tomatoes. So vining tomatoes continue to produce on the vine as long as they can until it freezes and they die. That's super convenient. But the problem with that is that I'm a super lazy gardener, and as those continue to vine, I forget to trellis them. They end up getting too big and they break, and then it's frustrating. So I've gone to basically growing bush tomatoes only. So bush tomatoes are tomatoes that grow to 3 to 4 feet, sometimes a little bit longer than that. And they stop producing, they produce a bunch of tomatoes, they do a couple rounds of that, and they're done. It's just easier for us to grow them, to grow bush tomatoes. So we've switched to those. So that's mostly what we're growing, are bush tomatoes. So let's go into bush tomatoes and look at those. And then let's go into varieties. And we've got a couple of different types in here. We are mostly going to be growing our tomatoes in smart pots, so I'm going to filter down to the container varieties. And I think the bush steak hybrid, yep. So bush steak hybrid is already in this list. So this is a larger tomato that does well in containers. So we've got one of the larger types. So for tomatoes, I like to grow a number of different types. So we've got a larger one. The honeycomb hybrid is a smaller one, I believe. Where is it? It's not in this list. It must be. That one's a vining tomato. So let's look for a couple of different types of tomatoes in here for bush. We're going to want some for salsa. So let's look to see what is a good salsa type. I guess if the name salsa is in it, it's probably a good one. So let's go with that one. I'm going to add this to my cart. All right, I'm going to go back over here. So we've got a big tomato, we've got a salsa tomato. Let's see what else we have in here. Roma, got to go with classic Roma. Let me add that in there. And a cherry tomato. Let's go with this one. The cherry tomatoes do really well. Out of all the tomatoes, they're the easiest to grow. Basically, the smaller the tomato, the easier it's going to be to grow. So let's get some of these. Okay, so I think that about rounds it out for tomatoes. And we've got some peppers already. So the last thing that we're going to look at getting some more fruits to add into the garden. So some perennial fruits that'll come back year after year. And Carrie really wants some kiwi, so let's go look at the kiwi and see what we have for that. So shop kiwi, and we've got 3 types of kiwi in here. Extra hardy, so that's for the northern part of the country. We're in Oklahoma. It doesn't really get super cold here, not like Michigan, so we really don't need one that's bred for the north. We were looking a little bit earlier. I think this kiwi hardy collection here looks like the one for us, because we're going to want it to be we're going to grow it up on the side of our porch on a trellis area that we have. And this one talks about being a really good ornamental climbing vine, and that's one of the reasons why we want it, is to cover a trellis that we have to look really nice. So we're gonna get this. With kiwi, you've got to get one of each gender of plant, one male, one female. So we're gonna click this to add this to our cart, and they've got a sale going right now. So buy 3 fruit or berry plants and get 20% off. All right, so we gotta go look and see what other bushes we can get, but I think that's it for this live stream, though. We just want to go through and show kind of how we go through and how we shop for seeds, and how you can use our app to shop for seeds, and how you can save some of the frustrations from the seed buying process, because we make it simple for you to shop for the specific variety that you're looking for, the specific purpose that you're looking for to grow. If you aren't familiar with us yet, my name is Del Spoonmore. My wife and I are the creators of the app that you see here. This is the From Seed to Spoon app. You can download it on iOS or an Android. You can also use it on any web browser at app.seedtospoon.net, and it will show you how to grow over 80 different fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Once you tap on whatever you want to grow, it'll give you planting dates that are calculated based on your nearest weather station, and then it gives you all the information that you need about how to grow that. It'll walk you through from the very beginning, sprouting, all the way until harvest. And we got links to all different things that we use in our garden to help grow things. And speaking of our garden, this is our garden here. On the About tab, you can see a picture of it here. This is our garden. And 3 years ago, we knew nothing about gardening. We started at the very beginning, at the very basic. And everything that we learned through this process, we put into this app to make it easy for everyone else to grow their own food. So we've got companion plants for each plant. We show you what grows well next to each vegetable, as well as what does not grow well next to each vegetable. You can tap on it to go into there to see what you can do, to learn more about that plant. We show you the pests that attack each vegetable here, and then you can tap on the pests to read how you can handle those pests organically. We're not going to recommend any pesticides in the app because we don't use them in our garden. We have a blog and a YouTube channel, and we're updating it pretty much every day or so. And we pull in any new blog posts or videos that are related to that pest or vegetable that you're looking at automatically in here. Carrie, we got a question? What's up?
So, Kimberly wants to know what tomato plants are you going to be picking for the OKC area. She was late to join.
Okay. So what tomatoes I'm picking for the OKC area. So our tomato strategy, let me go back to tomatoes again and just briefly go over it to recap. For us, so we've got 2 different types of tomatoes in the app. We have bush tomatoes and we have vine tomatoes. We stick with bush tomatoes because the vining tomatoes keep vining until they freeze. And that is a problem for me because I'm a terrible gardener. What I mean by that is I forget to go out and trellis them, and they just kind of become unmanageable. So I like the bush tomatoes because they only grow to 3 or 4 feet. They stop growing and produce all their tomatoes at once, and you get a lot of tomatoes. So we stick with those. With those types. As far as Oklahoma is concerned, we have a very favorable climate for tomatoes. Although I will say they do not like to be in the heat. It's 105 degrees outside. They need a little bit of protection in the afternoon. So we have all of our tomatoes stationed in a place where they get shade in the afternoon, either through a shade cloth that we structure by fastening the T-posts, and we've got a video on YouTube that shows how we build these. Carrie, do you mind posting a link to that in the comment? But basically, you just take T-posts, you stick them in the ground, you attach shade cloth to both of them, and then so that's one way that we help tomatoes through Oklahoma. But other than that, there's really, you don't have to take any special considerations as far as varieties that do well here. There are some that are bred to do better in the heat. Anything that says Texas in the name generally it does really well in the heat, but we went with this bush steak hybrid here, and then Celebrity is a super popular one. We also went with this fresh salsa hybrid. One thing that you can stick to is, as you're scrolling through the list, anything that has this most popular is generally a pretty safe one to go with as well. That's if you're not really sure what to buy or where to start. That's a good place to generally start because those are the ones that are tried and true and have been used by a lot of people. So hopefully that answers your question. So I think that pretty well covers it. I mean, I showed the app. I touched on some of the stuff that we have. There's a lot more in here. we've got all of our videos pull in here automatically from YouTube. We're doing events all throughout the state of Oklahoma right now, throughout the spring, and all the events that we do, we record videos and we put those videos on our YouTube channel, and those pull into here automatically into our app. Again, we've got blog posts that are coming out every single day. Carrie just had a blog post go out today about the top 5 plants you can grow for weight loss. We have more blog posts that are coming out like that over the coming weeks. And we have a lot of other really exciting features coming. So this week we're going to have an update that will send you notifications every week with a reminder list of everything that can be planted that week, both indoors and out. And we're also going to have new labels on this screen that show you what can be planted right now. We're going to fix this can be planted filter. Right now we have a bug where that filter is not working. We're going to fix that. We're going to add in a new filter for plant indoors. So all of that is coming this week. And then next month we're going to start rolling out the new My Garden features that we've been talking about since the end of last year, that we've been working hard on and we're really excited about, that lets you log your plantings. It'll guide you through. It'll give you push notifications telling you when to water. It'll do everything. It'll basically guide you through everything you need to do to grow your own food. So we're really excited about that. If you want to know more about that, make sure you sign up for our email list. If you just follow us on Facebook, you're probably missing most of the stuff we put out because we don't have the budget to spend a lot of money on Facebook ads, which means you don't really see our stuff because Facebook doesn't show stuff to users unless you pay them to do that. So one way that you can get around that is by joining our email list, and you'll get an email directly from us every Friday. It's not automated. None of the emails sent from us are automated anymore. We turn that off. Every email you get from us is handwritten by me or Carrie right now. So yeah, and I wanted to say thank you to everyone that's left a review lately. Those really help us out. They help us get in front of more people, and the more people that can download the app, the closer we get to maybe being able to do this full time. And we're really excited about that prospect because we feel like if we're able to do this full time, we could really build features in a hurry and revolutionize the way that people think about growing food, or as we like to say, don't think about growing food, because we want to make it to where you don't have to think about any of this stuff. We just send you push notifications telling you what you need to do and automatically ship products to your door when you need them. That is the road that we're trying to go down. So you can help us get there by sharing the app with your friends, leaving reviews, anything that any links you click on in the app to buy products, all of that kind of stuff helps us out tremendously. We're so thankful for how much you all have helped us already. I mean, thank you so much for all the feedback and the reviews and everything. So if you have any ideas or things that you'd like to see in the app, please reach out and let us know. You can email us at info@seedtospoon.net. You can message us on Facebook, on Instagram, on any of those places, comment on blog posts. They all go to us and we see all of them. Thank you once again. And any other questions before we end it off? Cool. All right. Well, we will try and do another one of these really soon. And we will be shopping for seeds for some of the other stuff that we're planting here soon. So until then, we'll see you next time. Thanks.